Corps member who lost a ram is back with us the third week running. You know, we are very concerned about her welfare, so together we shall know what's new with her situation. It's totally mind-blowing. Then we will catch up with those cases of sexual assault involving 2 minors. Our update borders on the stages of justice of both cases and how the culprits are paying or not paying for their evil deeds. Still on updates, we are returning to the rail tracks this week. Let's take a second look at those Spider-Men who would rather die than buy a train ticket. In between other brilliant reports is the link between the altar and the basketball court and a festival that unites the people of a town in western Nigeria. Towards the end of the program is where the horror stories are located. 2 dead and a few arrested. Crimes that make your skin crawl are in this package. The desperate heart of man is relentless. I will be back after Rhoda Obo is done with the news. Hi, Rhoda. Take it away.
Many thanks, Becky. Hello, a warm welcome. And as always, it's good to have you join us here on the News Belt. The Nigerian Army has denied reports that it is reviewing some recent disciplinary cases in the military. A statement by the acting director, Army Public Relations, Sani Usman, says, for avoidance of doubt, the Army is only reviewing all recent disciplinary cases due to the wave of litigations and petitions by some aggrieved personnel. The statement further advised the public not to misconstrue the recent directive to mean total recall of dismissed and deserted soldiers. And in furtherance of its weekly medical outreach program, the 47 Nigerian Force Hospital Yola has embarked on the second phase of free medical treatment to the internally displaced persons in Yola. This week, the 47 NAF Mobile Medical is covering the Bajaburi IDPs camp Yola, which has the largest number of IDPs. Correspondent Godia Daniels takes up the story from here.
This is the second phase of the 47 NAF Hospital Yola weekly medical outreach and is expected to cut across the 8 IDP camps situated in Yola. At the Bajabure IDP camp Yola, the 47 NAF Hospital medical team was fully on ground, attending and administering drugs to the internally displaced persons who turned out in their numbers to seek for medical attention. Commander 47 NAF Hospital Yola, Wing Commander Tia Mukamla, says the second phase of the exercise is conducted following directives of the present Chief of Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar. The military, he says, has a responsibility to the civil society. By so doing, it will give the internally displaced persons a sense of belonging. All forms of common illnesses, psychological therapy, counseling and health talks, he says, are attended to at the camps, while complicated cases are referred to the NAF hospital for further treatment.
So in the next 2 weeks, we'll be able to complete this phase.
Some of the beneficiaries commended the gesture, saying it will go a long way in ameliorating their health challenges. In Yola, Godia Daniel, NTA News.
Over 600 Nigerians deported from Cameroon have arrived at Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. Maimuna Garba reports that the returnees are being camped at the 450 housing estate.
Bama, Banki and Gala local government areas who were forced to relocate to neighboring Cameroon Republic due to activities of the insurgents. Concerned with the rate of attacks in Cameroon, the Cameroonian authorities decided to relocate the IDPs back to their country. Receiving the IDPs at Jimtilo village, Executive Secretary of SEMA Bulama Dawood Kari, in company of Zonal Coordinator Nema Mohammed Kanar, assured the IDPs of peaceful stay at the camps. Secretary of SEMA told the IDPs that he was directed by the State Deputy Governor to receive and camp them at 50 housing estates along Gubio Road, Maiduguri. Bulama Dawood Kari directed camp officials to provide them enough food, and while the sick should be taken to hospital, stressing that government sees the welfare of IDPs as an obligation and assured to cater for all their needs. He equally directed SEMA storekeeper to immediately provide the IDPs with 1,000 each of bathroom slippers, blankets, mattresses, mosquito nets, buckets, and cups.
We have arranged about 22 3-bedroom houses, 3 bedrooms at Gubio, at Big camp. Water have been provided there, food facilities, everything has been provided there. Toilet facilities have been provided. Because we are ready to receive them.
Earlier on arrival, the IDPs were screened by NDLEA officials, customs, SSS, and civilian JTF to ensure that no insurgent sneaks into the town. Some of the IDPs thanked Borno State government for the concern shown to their plight and are sure to remain good citizens. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
Christians have been advised to have the spirit of thanksgiving to God for his deeds in order to attract more blessings. This was the submission of some preachers in Abuja as they celebrate the first Sunday of the month. Basi Ita Ekbak has details.
Apart from observing that Thanksgiving attracts multiple blessings, Reverend Biodun's message focuses on marriage principles as a way of achieving peace in the nation.
And we found out that in this 21st century that we have a lot of challenges. God has brought a word to our church that two are better than one because they have a better reward for their labor. So the theme for this month is Better Together.
And at the Methodist Cathedral, the congregation praised God in thanksgiving. Even as some members were honored for their contribution to the church and the society. Preaching on the sole business of the church and the soul of a business, His Eminence Samuel Uche noted that the soul does not die, but receive recommendation or condemnation at the end. He made a case for the younger ones to be employed in the civil service as a way of reducing some vices in the society.
The church should not allow the world to contaminate her. Rather, the church should remain an agent of transformation, a catalyst for moral and spiritual rearmament of the society.
At the Commonwealth of Zion, Reverend Biodun led the congregation in prayers for the church, the family, government, and the nation. In Abuja, Basi Taikbang, NTA News.
Meanwhile, it was all praise and thanksgiving to God as members of the Celestial Church of Christ, Olajuwon Chejosho Cathedral in Lagos, celebrated its annual cantata organized by the choir. The event, which is the 38th in the series, is aimed at interceding for Nigeria and for divine protection through the through the power of praise. The report.
The church was full to capacity as the congregation gathered with determination to sing songs of praise to God in hymns and psalms for His grace upon them and the church. The choir led the congregation in the renditions. The sermon, preached by Superior Evangelist Moses Oyegbami, dwelled on the power of praise. He noted that praising God paves way for direct access to the Almighty, and that it is a ready weapon for spiritual battle.
They should give God what He requires so that they will get what they desire. And what does God require? Praises.
Members of the Celestial Church of Christ, Olajuwon Chejosho Cathedral, understand this, which is why they chose the power of praise as the theme of their anniversary.
For God to have called David a man of my heart, that means God really appreciates praise.
We will render new songs unto our Lord, showing our appreciation for His kindness.
The aftermath of insurgency in the northeast of the country has left untold hardship on the victims who have been forcibly displaced from their homes. It is in view of this that the Rescue Ministry of Christ Victory Life Church, Gariki Abuja, in the spirit of love, hosted and rendered assistance to the IDPs at the Goza camp in Durumi, Abuja. Justin Bem Uyi was there and he brought this back.
After the displacement by insurgents, I am left at the mercy of God and the generosity of men to keep me going with my children.
Mrs. Patience Yakubu, a 40-year-old widow displaced from her home in Shinene, Borno State, narrating her experiences and her 7 children at the IDP camp. This is the plight of these internally displaced persons. Concerned by these IDPs, the Rescue Ministry of Christ Victory Life Church has, through its annual Reach Out program, rendered financial support, food items and other materials to the victims of Goza Camp, Durumi, who were hosted in the church.
That sometime when you carry things and go and give them in the camp, some of the downtrodden, they will not be given those things. And some of them, they will tell them they are rationing it, but they are in hunger. And we even had a rumor that some of them, they even sell it to some of those who are strong, that are in charge. And so we decided to say ours, we want them to come in here, that we want to put a smile in their face.
The gesture is seen by the IDPs as life-touching and remarkable.
My family and I remain grateful to this church for reaching out and putting a smile on our faces once again.
The ministry says it intends to extend similar gesture to other IDP camps and communities and urges good-spirited individuals to equally reach out. In Abuja, Justin Bem-Unyi, NTA News.
Nasarawa state government, with the support of the World Bank, is training persons living with HIV/AIDS in various skill acquisitions so as to make them self-reliant. Correspondent Joshua Ojita has details.
The vocational training, which is funded through the World Bank Credit to State for HIV Program Development Project and is supported by the Mother and Child Care Enhancement Foundation, MACSEF, an initiative of the State First Lady, is to enable them generate income for themselves. In the first phase of the training, 20 persons living with HIV and AIDS in each of the 13 local government areas in the state have benefited from the training in various vocations and were empowered to start up their businesses. Governor Umaru Tanko Al-Mokura, in addition, announced automatic employment for 10 out of the trainees in the state civil service and encouraged them not to see their HIV and AIDS status as a death sentence, but should adhere to their medication in order to live longer.
The state government will keep an eye on all of you to monitor how you are progressing.
For the initiator of the training and the State First Lady, Hajia Salamatu Tanko Al-Mokura, the program was to provide succor to the beneficiaries.
I urge you to make good use of your skills you acquired here.
Some of the beneficiaries who spoke to NTA News commended the State First Lady for the initiative and promised to use the equipment and skills learned to better their lives. In Lafia, Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
The federal government has been urged to explore the viability of the culture and tourism industry in order to provide an alternative source of income generation for the Nigerian economy. This was the view of stakeholders at the 2015 combined convocation ceremony of the National Institute for Hospitality and Tourism in Abuja. Correspondent Glory Ekanem reports.
The world's largest service sector industry that creates employment and contributes enormously to the economic prosperity of the world. Hence, the establishment of the National Institute for Hospitality and Tourism in 1988 in Nigeria. The institute is saddled with the responsibility to regulate the activities of hospitality and tourism institutions in both the public and private sectors, to enhance efficient service delivery in line with global best practices. Therefore, speakers at the 2015 combined convocation ceremony opened that for Nigeria to make giant strides in the economic and social development, it has to take a radical and surgical change in the education sector.
Let NIHOTO be the Harvard of the regulation and training for the hospitality and tourism for Nigeria.
People don't realize how enormous this sector is. It's bigger than oil. For many countries, their mainstay is culture and tourism, and Nigeria cannot be anything other than that.
when we release graduates of quality into the market, then we're sure that services will improve. And even for those who own hospitality and tourism outfits, when they do begin to see the results of quality training, I'm sure they will be happier to pay for training for their staff.
Graduates of the institutions are optimistic that they are equipped to tackle the challenges of the 21st century in the tourism sector.
I'm better enlightened now about the hospitality industry and the tourism sector. I see myself not only as an ambassador, but I see myself as a representative of not only my institute, of my country.
NIOTOR has its presence in the 6 geopolitical zones of the country and the FCT. In Abuja, Glory Ekanem, NTA News.
And our sports Dream Team 6 qualify for the 2015 CAF Under-23 Championship as Super Falcons crash out of the race to the 2016 Rio Olympic Games. Kene Emabudike tells us more on Sports Update.
The Nigerian military have reaffirmed its commitment towards providing athletes capable of winning laurels for the country at both national and international competitions. Ayodeji Makinde reports that this was restated at the Sports Day of the National Defense College Course 23 graduation at the Agoye Agency Cantonment Sports Complex Abuja weekend, where the participants competed in 8 sporting events, including tug of war by the commandant's team.
Sporting activity is one thing that we do not joke with. It's as good as training in weapons, because if you are very good in weaponry and you are physically not fit, you will not be able to carry that weapon.
It has been a mixed grill package for Nigerian football this weekend, with the national under-23 men's football team, otherwise known as Dream Team 6, qualifying for the 2015 CAF Under-23 Championship following a final round second leg goalless draw against Congo-Brazzaville in Pont-Noir on Sunday. Nigeria progressed on a 2-1 aggregate, which was earned in the first leg a fortnight ago in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. However, Nigeria Super Falcons will not feature at the 2016 Rio Olympics after losing 1-2 against Equatorial Guinea in the Battle of Bata on Sunday. Both teams had played 1-1 in the final round first leg 2 weeks ago in Abuja. Week 20 matches of the Nigerian Professional Football League were concluded on Sunday, with Enyimba and Rangers playing out a 1-1 draw in Aba. Bayelsa United and Akwa United also drew 1-1, just as Ifanyo Ba United and Abia Warriors. Kano Pillars beat visitors Lobi Stars by 2-1, while Sunshine Stars lost in Taraba by a lone goal. Enyimba maintained the lead on the log with 37 points, while FC Taraba are at the bottom of the log with 16 points from 20 matches. Oxlade Chamberlain scored in 24 minutes as Arsenal beat Chelsea 1-0 to clinch the FA Community Shield Sunday at the Wembley Stadium, with goalkeeper Peter Cech impressing on debut against his former club. It was the first ever victory by Arsene Wenger against Jose Mourinho. With Sports Update, Kene Yumabodike, NTA News.
And that does it on the news beat tonight. But then lots of interesting stories on Newsline tonight, and Becky will be back after this break to download all of that. Please do stay with us.
Nothing feels better than having stuff made just for you, like the MTN Super Saver Plus.
This special plan gets me. It treats me like royalty.
And roaming? This plan allows you to receive calls and SMS for free in more countries.
When they ask me why I love MTN Super Saver Plus, I just say it suits me to the bone.
MTN Super Saver Plus, because success has its privileges.
MTN, everywhere you go.
My head! Doctor, my sins are numerous. I embezzled our cooperative funds.
Calm down, you'll be fine. This is just a headache and fever.
The signs are obvious. I won't make it.
You will.
Parataxi paracetamol. Now the best for the headache, yo. Parataxi paracetamol. Now the answer for the fever.
Did my wife hear my confession?
No, maybe I should tell her.
No!
Paratex, product of Pharmatex Industries Limited. Innovation for healthier life. Paratex, another brand of paracetamol. Symptoms persist after 3 days. Consult a doctor.
Oils can be bad for your health, such as unbranded oil, which is often packed unhygienically and may contain substances that are toxic for the body. High fat content is not good for our diet, so we have to be extremely careful when choosing our oil. In addition to this, adulterated oil may contain trans fat and high level of cholesterol, both of which are not good for a healthy diet. That's why I use Power Oil for my family. An oil with 0 trans fats and no cholesterol.
A healthy oil for a healthy family.
It's Airtel. Million promo! Recharge, call, text, and browse with your Airtel line, and you can 1 million naira every day for 600,000 naira will be won every hour for 60 days, and lot of free airtime, SMS, 200 million naira worth of prizes. Everybody is a winner. Just recharge and keep winning in the Airtel It's a Million promo.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Glad to have you back. We will start on a heartwarming note. Margaret Unamure, the National Youth Corps member whose left arm was amputated following a road accident a few days after completing the service year, saw her future disappear before her very eyes. But like almost everything in life, there is lights at the end of every dark tunnel. For Margaret, that light is now shining brightly. After seeing her story on Newsline, a good-spirited Nigerian has offered help to address her immediate and future needs. Now, this Good Samaritan lives in Lagos while Margaret is in a hospital in Utukpo, Benue State, recuperating. Jennifer Igwe was therefore given the task of ensuring that Margaret sees and feels the gleam of the humanitarian gesture.
No one's I concern this kind of thing. So I still take God beg you now. I mean, I say help me for this girl. Make you not stay with me for us like that. Help me if I work for her.
That was the appeal from Margaret's mother that drew empathy from a kind-hearted Nigerian, Chief Eric Omofia. His reaction when he watched the story on Margaret on Newsline wasn't just, oh, what a calamity, or, hey, yeah, I hope someone helps her. Rather, Chief Omofia, like the biblical Good Samaritan, did the needful by putting his money where his emotion is on her case.
We are now donating this amount of money, 500,000, to help the lady to pay her bills.
And before your wow reactions and probably prayers for Chief Omofia, listen to his mouth-watering additional offer to Margaret.
Also giving a letter for her employment. Anytime she's well, she can resume any of her office nearest to her or live anywhere she chooses.
Margaret's check of 500,000 naira and her letter of employment was received on her behalf by yours truly, after which the Newsline crew headed for the bank to pay her money in. And before then, Chief Omofia shares a story about a time when he was Margaret's age and needed help.
During my younger age growing, I had a close person that I had all confidence and hope on, that he would have helped me to be somebody in this life. But the same person blocked me, made me to cry, and challenged me that I will be a foolish man on earth. I will go and waste my money. I'm not a good person. Then I swear and say, God, I will make money and I will help people. And that's the prayer God had to do.
Chief Omofia says his heart also went out to Margaret because he has a son about her age who also served the nation in the same capacity some years ago.
I don't miss Newsline anytime I'm around. Anywhere a newsline can be got. I travel over, I cannot get it. I was touched because this is part of the things that if the economy is working well, people, government, and the people like us must have done the plans, or some people like this that maybe the accident has happened, maybe they are no good care, that's why they lose, and we want to make this economy to work well.
Now, back to the money. Margaret has a savings account, so paying the check straight into it was a challenge because ordinarily you don't pay such checks directly into savings accounts. It was another moment of grace for Margaret. This is because Ibiku Lawal, the branch service and control manager of the bank, on hearing about her case, swung into action. She got in touch with the branch in Makurdi where Margaret has an account and ensured the money was paid in. So by Monday, Margaret will have access to her money. The letter of employment will be handed over to her by the NTA management.
She lost one part of her arm. I know it will be difficult for her to be employed. If people like us are not responded, because she's determined to survive, we will help her to get to where she wants to get in her life. Provided she's working with us, she will give every support she needs to improve herself and improve her future.
Chief Umofia also gave Margaret some products from his organization to ensure she eats healthy as she recuperates.
Because you have blessed her, because you have sown into her life, God will bless you and your industry will grow in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Although Margaret's joy and excitement of sharing her educational milestone with her mother turned a sad story, her gloomy situation has indeed turned into a gloriously hopeful one. Now, Margaret's mother need not cry again because God has sent succor their way. At this point, it is not a bad idea to dance to Korode's God Win.
There be one for my hand, but God the win. There be one keep my joy, but God the win. I say anything them do not God the win, no not God the win.
Chief Eric Umofia is an angel amongst men. He it was who bought a commercial tricycle for the female Keke Marwa rider we featured on this program last year. Now he has restored Margaret's hope and empowered her. In addition, he has offered to pay for her prosthetic arm. How do we thank him? God bless this gallant Nigerian called Chief Eric Umofia. After Newsline's report last Sunday on the train passengers in Lagos who prefer to take a ride on moving trains, we decided to follow up on the relevant authorities to find out what they have done to curb the dangerous trend. This is in view of the fact that these dangerous passengers attack anyone who dares to question their actions. Some people have been killed as a result. Are the relevant authorities doing anything about this? Musa Toliat reports.
After Newsline featured the story on these train passengers on a dangerous mission, there have been calls from different quarters that the Nigerian Railway Corporation should stop the suicidal tendencies taking place on its trains. There are, however, those who wonder why the Lagos state government has not taken measures to check the menace.
Since it's a menace that it calls for attention, and what I think should be done is that the authority in questions, the train officials, the governments, the law enforcement agency, they should come on board and see how they can curb this thing, because it is at the detriment of the life of these people, and they may not even value their life.
The concern expressed by Lagos residents goes beyond the passengers sitting on the rooftop of trains, but the fact that they attack anyone who tries to capture their antisocial behavior on camera. Some journalists have fallen victim, and the Nigerian Union of Journalists says urgent action must be taken to stop these train passengers.
The NUJ in its position has condemned it in its entirety. I have experienced it twice. One, it was at Agege. The other one was at the Keja. That one of the Keja, they even mobbed one of our senior journalists, the late Ogundeji, and we ran to the local government, very close to local government, Keja local government. And why not for the intervention of the officers of Nigerian police? It could have been a different story entirely.
When you are trying to take a shot or something, they throw bottles, they throw stones at you. Some will even come down if you are not careful, beat you up. It's not right. If people keep doing this, if one person is dealt with, I don't think any other person will want to do it. When they think back, oh, that person that climbed the train the other time was arrested, charged to court, and was sent to the prison. maybe for 14 years or for 12 years or for 15 years, then others will learn from it and not hop on train any longer.
Lagos State lawmakers did not mince words on the steps the House of Assembly will take to protect residents from such attacks.
Staying on that train alone is enough for the security agent, to grab them. Not to talk of attacking again. That is double offense. You understand? We need to call on the security agent. They need to be at, very beautiful alert. When such a thing come up, they should be able to, respond rapidly.
We also need to urgently come up with a law that will prosecute whoever found on top of the train. But doing that, our law enforcement agency also need to be up to the task.
It's an indictment on the part of government. There are so many laws that can be applicable under the criminal code to that. So those people, we won't allow them to die, number one. Number two, we won't allow them to give us negativity.
The train passes through Lagos State, and if there is any issue that happens in Lagos, of course, Lagos State government also will be indicted, directly or indirectly. So it's not an issue of just leaving it because it's a federal thing or exclusive list.
With so much expectation from the Lagos State Police Command to stop these violent passengers, the State Commissioner of Police, Fatai Owosheni, says only concerted efforts from stakeholders can forestall the menace.
How many policemen would you put along the whole rail line to stop that? Because some of these people that do these things, even when the trains are moving, they still jump on top of those wagons. With the relevant institution of government, we'll see how that can be addressed. The Nigerian Railway Corporation has a role, the society has a role.
For now, Lagos residents are waiting to see when or how these illegal train passengers on a dangerous mission will be stopped from their suicidal and violent tendencies.
Yes, we are all waiting to see them stopped. If they continue, we shall let you know. Moving on, when President Muhammadu Buhari visited Benin Republic during the week, it was the final lap of his diplomatic shuttle to build a strong collaboration against insurgency in Nigeria. But for his host, President Buhari's visit was an honor which they couldn't help but appreciate. Adamu Sambo, who was on the president's entourage, is set to relay what he saw.
The show of love and respect for President Muhammadu Buhari by his Beninoa counterpart Boni Yayi and his countrymen started from his arrival at the Cotonou International Airport. As the special guest of honor at the 55th independence anniversary, the Nigerian leader was given a rare honor of not only joining in the drive round the venue of the celebration, but also taking the military salute from the armed forces. This is an uncommon feature in Benin Republic and many other sovereign states. Then an elaborate event followed at the Army Boulevard, where the disciplined Beninoa armed forces and paramilitary organizations displayed their show of strength through a colorful parade of personnel and equipment.
Relative to the resources of the country and the size, the president has made a great investment in security.
Another show of respect for President Muhammadu Buhari was his decoration with the Great Cross of Benin Republic, the highest national honor of that country, by President Boni Yayi. That's not all. The Nigerian leader, described by President Boni Yayi as a man of integrity who has Nigeria at heart, was also conferred with the title of Managwadi, meaning I will never forget you, by the Council of Traditional Rulers in Benin Republic, characterized by a display of the rich cultural endowments of the people. But most importantly, President Muhammadu Buhari's request for Benin Republic to join in the crusade against Boko Haram was immediately granted by President Boni Yayi.
The Benin will be by your side in fighting Boko Haram in the next couple of days of weeks. We are ready to send about 800 men.
This is a great sacrifice on the part of Benin Republic to team up and contribute and beat Boko Haram by the end of the year. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Excellence. During the visit, President Muhammad Buhari discussed freely and frankly with the Nigerian community in Benin Republic on the restoration of hope in governance at home, as well as other issues of welfare and well-being for Nigerians in the diaspora.
Everybody have used this card? Yes. So give it to me. So this is just a gift from Awe. Yes. Buhari. Thank you for introducing me to our messenger.
A Nigerian whiz kid flies the country's flag high in a foreign land. That story coming up when Newsline returns from this commercial break. Stay on the line.
Stallion Group, a progressive conglomerate with diversified business presence in more than 18 countries in sectors like agriculture and rice value chain, automobile manufacturing, automobile sales and services, steel manufacturing, mining, fisheries and aquaculture, plastics and polymers, petrochemicals and packaging, port operations, shipping and logistics, warehousing and distribution, fertilizers, real estate, technology, and financial services. Stallion Group is dedicated towards its social responsibilities with focus on rural and community development, healthcare, child welfare, and a sustainable environment. Stallion Group is committed to making the lives of our people better by providing quality products at an affordable price. Stallion, proudly Nigerian.
It's the big 60th anniversary Reach for Millions promo where everybody wins. Hurry, just buy any pig milk. Check the BN code. Text the code starting with BN on the pack to 55331. Win daily cash prizes of 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, and an amazing 1 million naira every day for 60 days. Reach for Millions today and redeem winnings with your empty packs at selected First Bank branches. Big 60th anniversary Reach for Millions promo. The more you buy, the more you can win, win, win. Peak, it's in you.
Every goal, every success deserves your all. Only 100% will do. Chivita, 100%. Chivita 100% juice, made from real natural fruits, with no preservative and no added sugar. The best always believes in 100%. 100% commitment. 100% quality. 100% achievement. With 100% goodness and real taste of fruits.
Chivita, 100% or nothing.
Thanks for staying on the line. This one I love. Some call him the perfect five. Some others say he is a rare gem. He is a Nigerian youth below 30 years of age. To say he's brilliant is putting it mildly, but by virtue of his extreme brilliance, he has done Nigeria proud in faraway Russia. You may be wondering what the hype is all about. Well, I'll just tell you that the young man, a student of medicine in the Russian Federation, is being celebrated for spectacular academic performance. It is Franca Uzoma Olwa who has the details of his overwhelming performance. Let's hear her.
The best graduating student in the whole of Russian Federation in the year 2019 is studying medicine.
27-year-old Dr. Victor Olalusi is one of those you can proudly call gifted, having been a scholar of great distinction from the primary school level to the university.
Can I kindly request Victor
to borrow me his head.
His 7-year journey to Russia started with the award of a federal government scholarship to study medicine under the Russian-Nigerian bilateral agreement.
When one has made an achievement, there is no reason why we should not honor it, because we believe it will set an example for many, many others that are coming all along.
Following a successful completion of a 6-month-long course in Russian language, he enrolled at the Russian National Research Medical University, Moscow.
I was able to take part in academic and non-academic activities. I was very active in my students' fellowship team, Students for Christ in Russia. Besides that, I took part in university's student affairs organization. There was the African Students Union I was a president of. And I would like to let you know that these things were not hindrances to do well.
His outstanding performance as the best student in his faculty earned him a place in the university's Hall of Fame for academic excellence.
And I would like to thank the Federal Scholarship Board via the Federal Ministry of Education. And I am so much indebted to them for the opportunity that they make available every time to young Nigerians, young promising Nigerians. And I want to let you know that what has been responsible for this majorly has been, it's a mix of trust in God, hard work and dedication.
Dr. Victor Olalusi is celebrated by the Ministry of Education as a distinguished ambassador of Nigeria and by extension the ambassador of the Russian Federation.
He scored the maximum points, 5.0 upon 5.0. If you comb the Guinness Book of Records, it might be difficult for you to see any person globally that could achieve that feat. And this is a Nigerian. So we must celebrate our own.
Proud parents of Dr. Victor Olalusi dedicate his success to God, hard work and strict monitoring.
For me, education is of two parts. One, that should be what I call home development, home training. That's what you call the academic activities. And a baby must learn to crawl before he starts to walk. One must start before the other. The training must start from the house, and it must be continuous.
What we are witnessing today is just God's work. Though you can pray, but if you don't have an answer to the prayer, there's nothing one can do.
With several awards to his credit, Dr. Olalusi, who currently serves in Rivers State as a medical officer, has been recommended by the Ministry of Education for National Honors Award.
Albert Einstein, I tell you, Nigerians and indeed Africans are proud of this exceptional genius. In keeping alive his vision to be the best science academy in Nigeria and among the best in the world, Capital Science Academy in Kuje, Abuja says it is synonymous with academic and moral excellence. The academy has held this graduation ceremony for 159 students. Abdullahi Ajia reports that the event attracted people from all walks of life.
The 10th graduation ceremony of Capital Science Academy Kuje Abuja was a gawk in beauty, colors and joy, orchestrated by the academic feat attained by 159 students passing out of the academy in 2014-2015 academic session. Guests from across all strata of society, as well as parents, described the school's academic programs as awesome.
It's a thing of joy for parents to see their children graduating. And you agree with me that the quality of education is going down. But looking at what's happening here, we agree that there's hope for this country.
The success rate in terms of examination pass rate, whether it is NECO or WAEC or IGCSE or SATs and many others of them, is usually above 90%.
I was initially bothered about the standard, but then Capital Science surpassed the standard of where she came from.
In a paper presentation titled Nigeria, the Global Community and the Leadership Roles of Today's Youth, Clerk to the National Assembly, Salisu Meikaswa stressed that all partnership must be strengthened to guarantee the future of the youth.
In other words, at that point in time, Nigeria needed those who will point out the way out of the impending catastrophe into a more reassuring and desirable situation. The global community today requires a proactive, responsive and effective leadership.
The school, which presented the graduates to the public, certified them worthy in learning and character and charged them to be good ambassadors and trailblazers.
I think we've done a good job, and I think they're ready to move on to the next chapter in their lives and become productive members of society.
Symbolic to mention was the presentation of awards to outstanding graduates who came tops in the various subjects, including international scholarships for those with exceptional performance. Certificates were also presented to all the graduates and the outgoing prefects.
I was open to opportunities outside the country. I wrote the SAT, that's an American exam that we write in our school. Through that exam, I was able to be enlisted into a national scholars society, and I also gained scholarship to one of the best schools in America.
It opened up doors for me. I was a timid person before. I never expected to have the opportunities I've had today. I've represented the school in many activities, not only in the country, but outside as well. And I've also been able to open up to myself and be the person I to be.
Capital Science Academy, established in 2003, is located in Kuje Area Council of the FCT and has maintained a high level of performance in both internal and external examinations by its students.
News now is a veteran broadcaster. He occupies one of the prestigious seats in the hierarchy of the NTA. He has been a reporter, a producer, newscaster, and as I speak, presents a program on the network service of the NTA. This, however, is not about the CV of this veteran. It is about the fact that what he nurtured and invested in for years has matured. It was therefore a proud Aliyu Baba Barau, NTA's Director of News, who gave his blessing as his daughter Hawa tied the nuptial knot with Umaru Abba Kyari. The wedding Fatiha took place in Mina yesterday. Dauda Mohammed reports that it attracted guests from across the country. Let's see it.
The coming together of the distinct cultures of Hawa Baba Barau representing Niger State and Umar Abba Kyari representing Borno State was consummated at the Mina Central Mosque, situated at the heart of the city. Eminent personalities from far and near witnessed the wedding Fatiha with the chief imam of Mina, Malam Ibrahim Isa Fari, leading other Islamic scholars to solemnize the marriage proposal after a dowry of 30,000 naira was accepted by the representative of Niger State Governor, who gave out the bride to the representative of the groom's family.
And wish you all the best in their married life and a good family to come after.
The Director General of NTA, Mr. Shola Omole, sends his felicitations to the two families and the couple.
They should be tolerant, they should communicate, they should also fear God.
So they should be patient and tolerant of each other.
They should join hands together and make a good marriage.
I wish them very well and I hope their own will be excellent.
Guests and other well-wishers were later treated to a variety of sumptuous meals at the instance of the bride's family at the beautifully decorated Justice Idris Lebo Kutigi Conference Center, Mina, with a good representation of the NTA family in attendance.
I want them to unite themselves. Whatever problem they have, they should discuss it within themselves.
And I wish them the best. If anytime there's a problem between the two of them, let them resolve it amicably.
Love, real love, and God will bless them.
So that their marriage will be an example for other people who don't want to marry to get married.
Stick together, love one another, and they should be prayerful.
Patience and patience.
They should tolerate each other and carry on with their life.
Congratulate them on their marriage and also enjoin them to be patient, understanding, and tolerant.
For the father of the bride, NTA's Director of News, Aliyu Baba Barau, the occasion was an opportunity to renew relationships.
One of the most happiest moments of my life, and we wish them the best of married life. And of course, so that the yield, the fruit they are going to yield will not only be beneficial to the family, their immediate community or the general society of Nigeria, but to the global community.
Activities preceding the wedding party had earlier been held with the Salali and the Kamu, literally meaning catching of the bride, at the bride's family home, decorated with brass items portraying the rich cultural heritage of northern Nigeria. A walima was also organized in honor of the bride with an Islamic cleric, Malama Rabi Makun, calling on the couple to use the marriage as a stepping stone to paradise.
Marriage is not a bed of roses. It's full of prickle and thorns. But when you are able to keep patient, you can bear it.
And then I wish her the best in life.
The bride, Hawa Aliyu Baba Barrow, works with the Federal Inland Revenue Service, while the groom, Umar Abba Kyari, is a civil engineering consultant based in Abuja.
His understanding, and he's a kind of my father. He has an attribute that only few men.
I'm very happy. I thank the Almighty Allah for making this occasion a successful one.
Congrats to the Baba Barrow family and their in-laws. God bless the couple with abundance in all aspects of life. Next event, it was a blend of business and pleasure. Business because stakeholders in Nigeria's insurance industry held a mega conference. Pleasure because at the end of the conference, they treated themselves to a super dinner. In the midst of that, the stakeholders celebrated one of the best in their industry. All of this took place in Abuja, from where Sheung Ogunluyi reports.
Fusion of red and white and the aesthetics gave the whole an ambience of a wedding reception. But then, this event isn't to celebrate a couple, but rather it is more of a marriage of all stakeholders in Nigeria's insurance industry. It was indeed a night to celebrate the completion of a successful insurance industry mega conference, which had for the first time brought together practitioners in insurance business conference.
For the first time, the industry has come together to stage a conference.
And it is therefore my sincere belief that the ICC will work stronger and continue to serve as the platform for a united and more vibrant insurance industry.
A colorful night in honor of the man with the Midas torch, whose focused leadership has elevated the status of the industry to the admiration of Nigerians. Fola Daniel's 35 years in the insurance world and his 8 years in leading the Nigerian insurance industry called for the celebration of the ever-smiling chief executive, whose commitment to the cause of the industry repositioned it from number 5 to number 2 in Africa within 5 years.
He's done so much for the industry. There's a lot of alignment, a lot of processes, a lot of restructuring.
I also found him to be an insurance professional with a sound sense of judgment and a great passion for the insurance industry.
My prayer is for us to have somebody that will come into his shoe and perform more than he has done.
Introduction of different policies to boost the status of the industry and the no tolerance for sharp practices in the industry are some of the things that practitioners in the industry will always remember about Fola. But then, what are those things that Fola had wished for in the past 8 years?
I would have wished that we are at a stage where over 30% of Nigerians are buying insurance. Right now we have less than 10%, including the compulsory insurances. So that's an area that still leaves a wide gap for the insurance industry.
Although believed to have left a shoe too big to fit, practitioners say Mr. Daniel's leadership has produced many big legs to fit his big leadership shoes in the industry.
Still on celebrations, it is the tradition of the Nigerian Armed Forces to celebrate their officers, especially when they are taking over or pulling out. For the immediate past Chief of Defense Staff, Air Chief Marshal Alex Bade, it was a colorful ceremony. It took place at the Mogadishu cantonment in Abuja. Mohammed Abdul Kadri reports.
The historic ceremonial pulling out parade for the 15th Chief of Defense Staff, Air Chief Marshal Alex Sabundu Bade, began on an impressive note. The reviewing officer, who was commissioned pilot officer in 1979, put a touch of professionalism into the parade.
We are blessed with 3 children, 2 boys and a girl, as well as a grandson, Alex 3.
My life
the service has been full of excitement, opportunities, as well as challenges.
The convener of the parade, Chief of Defense Staff, Major General Gabriel Olonishakin, led the service chiefs, including the Inspector General of Police and other top military officers, to pull out the former Chief of Defense Staff. Some dignitaries described Air Chief Marshal Alex Sambundu Bade as one of the finest pilots in the Nigerian Air Force.
It is the culmination of a very illustrious and successful career.
Anywhere he went, he put in his best and actually performed wonderfully well.
The outgone Chief of Defense Staff, who took over from Admiral Ola Sahad Ibrahim since 16 January 2014 and handed over to his successor, Major General Gabriel Olonishakin, said he had a fulfilled tour of duty.
Regrets? Absolutely no regrets.
The best to Air Chief Marshal Alex Bade as he begins a new phase. Culture and tradition, those can never be in short supply in Nigeria. If there is something we as Nigerians can never cease boasting about, is our cultural heritage. Plus, the story of a priest whose hobby and profession can be likened to two sides of the same coin. Stay on the line, Newsline. We'll be right back.
Big 60th anniversary Rich for Millions promo where everybody wins. Hurry, just buy any pig milk. Check the BN code. Text the code starting with BN on the pack to 55331. Win daily cash prizes of 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 and an amazing 1 million naira every day for 60 days. Reach 4 millions today and redeem winnings with your empty packs at selected First Bank branches. Big 60th anniversary Reach 4 Millions promo. The more you buy, the more you can win, win, win. Peak, it's in you.
The Society for Peace Studies and Practice wishes to notify conference attendees of change in venue of the 2015 conference from Port Harcourt, Rivers State to the University of Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. Our sincere apology. Please check www.spsp.org.ng. Dr. Willie Eselebo, announcer.
Southwood. Fine furnishings for your home and office. Southwood is a Nigerian company dedicated to improving the quality of workplaces and homes. Our space planning and craftsmanship allows you to create a highly customized and comfortable office environment for hardworking and busy executives. Southwood solutions are perfect for today's flexible work cultures. Teamwork, transparency, collaboration. A well-designed and comfortable work environment is proven to increase productivity and morale. Our elegant home furnishings provide the ultimate in comfort and quality. Southwood, furnishings that shape your world. Visit us today at southwoodnigeria.com. Email us at furniture@southwoodnigeria.com or call 0700 Furniture.
Some oils can be bad for your health, such as unbranded oil, which is often packed unhygienically and may contain substances that are toxic for the body. High-fat content is not good for our diet, so we have to be extremely careful when choosing our oil. In addition to this, adulterated oil may contain trans fat and high level of cholesterol, both of which are not good for a healthy diet. That's why I use Power Oil for my family. An oil with zero trans fats and no cholesterol.
A healthy oil for a healthy family.
Enjoy great nourishment. Eat Mecca White Oats. It's easy and quick to prepare. No artificial flavor, preservative, or coloring. Rich in fiber and vitamins. Improves bone health and is suitable for diabetics. Mecca White Oats is made from whole grains and is good for children, adults, pregnant, and nursing mothers. Nothing says good morning like a warm bowl of Mecca White Oats. Available in leading supermarkets nationwide. Mecca White Oats is a product of Chris Hold Nigeria Limited, 40 Lusaka Street, Zone 6, Abuja. Marketed and distributed by Royal Diamond Veteran Synergy Limited. Telephone 0703 111 4388 0817 957 1760. Mecca White Oats, your delicious and nourishing oatmeal.
There is a reason Africa is called the new frontier.
What was once potential is now an opportunity ready to be seized. Once revered for our resources, today's wealth lies in our people. People who build the cities that shape the future. People who know an idea in one place means business in another. A generation for whom technology means there are no borders, no boundaries. We are the new lions in a brave new world, kings of the urban jungle. And there's a bank that puts the world in our pocket and the future in our hands. UBA, Africa's global bank.
Indomie presents Flash and Win promo. Buy Indomie Noodle Super Packs. Find the phone number written on the seasoning wrapper inside the sachet. Start flashing the numbers and you stand a chance to get instant recharge up to 1,000 Naira. You also stand the chance to win 100,000 Naira daily and 1 million Naira in the mega draws. The more you flash, the more you win. Offer valid while stocks last. Terms and conditions apply.
Indomie, tasty nutrition, good for you.
Welcome back. When Paul Ogaji, who is a Catholic, attended Mass in a church in Abakaliki, naturally he took note of the Reverend Father who celebrated the Mass. You can understand his shock when he went to observe a basketball team in training and saw the same Reverend Father, now out of his cassock and in training gear, coaching the team. A Reverend Father and the coach. Now I am confused. Is it possible? Paul, please solve this puzzle.
Reverend Father Donatus Ofulozo, a Catholic priest, was ordained 23 years ago. At the moment, he is the rector of St. Augustine's Seminary, Istanbul, in Abakaliki, Ebonyi State. The introduction of the All-Nigeria Secondary School Basketball Championship 17 years ago was the tonic that spurred him to showcase his talent as a coach.
Hold the ball. We had a whistle. Move. Ready? Ready. Bouncing.
From the zoning of the competition, Ebonyi State, he says, is in the Atlantic Conference. With pride, he revealed that his team has been consistent with a top spot at the Atlantic Conference and has 2 times won at the national level. He also produced the most valuable players for 2014 and 2015.
Since 2010 to date, no school has beaten me in the Savannah Atlantic Conference. We have been coming to Lagos to play since 2010 to date.
Our father here, he teaches us from our tender age. He brings us up, teaches us how to pass, bounce, shoot. Then we now become like better when we get to our SS2.
I like to play NBA when I grow up and develop more.
At what point did he realize his interest in the game of basketball?
Yeah, I played basketball when I was young. I played actively. I played Nuga. I played all major seminaries games in the 80s and the early 90s. I didn't play as much as I wanted. I didn't reach the level I wanted to reach. I said, these children that's under my custody, I'm going to take them very, very high. That's actually what is pushing me behind.
A priest and a basketball coach. How does he combine the two in view of the fact that one is spiritual and the other secular?
A human being is a coin of 2 faces. You have the spiritual and you have the earthly. We are astride of the 2 worlds. So every human being must know how to combine the 2. If you remain only in one realm, then you are not a human being. You must be in both.
So good is Reverend Father Ofulozo in coaching that the achievements of his team gingered the construction of an indoor basketball court in the school. The court is yet to be completed.
When I started going out for national competitions, we always play indoor with this synthetic court floor. When we come here, we train here, this outdoor and hard floor, So, you know the difference. By the time you go in to play a match, in the other one, you can't move. So I said, I'm going to build this thing here so we can train.
For him to be constructing a gym in his school really shows you the passion that he has for the game and the effort that is being put.
Reverend Father Ufulozo is a very practical person. He believes in coaching by example. That is why sometimes he joins the team session. However, when it is time to celebrate Mass on the altar, the players become parishioners.
No, definitely I won't talk basketball now. When we come to basketball, we talk basketball. Now we are going to talk about the Word of God strictly.
Remarkable. That's what a perfect blend is. The physical and spiritual parts are sound. Good one. It is a cause for concern that certain aspects of our cultural heritage as Nigerians are fast becoming extinct. Chief among these are our indigenous languages, mode of dressing, and even food. I know that the federal government is particularly concerned about the gradual loss of our languages and is making effort to contain the damage. It is, however, heartwarming to know that there are many die-hard Nigerians who would never let go of their cultural heritage. Ogochukwu Ona in Asaba will unveil some of these die-hard Nigerians who are holding on tight to a culture they inherited from their ancestors.
Yes, it is tradition or culture, if you like, of the Akwacha, meaning white cloth. This traditional fabric made from cotton and distinctively patterned is almost exclusive to deltas of our Nyocha Oshimili extraction, as it also has links with Kogi State. It is worn mostly during important occasions and ceremonies, which confers on it the status of dignity and uniqueness.
When a child is born, we wear Akwacha to welcome that child, to give light to that child, so that that child can find his or her purpose in creation and actualize that purpose. When somebody dies, we wear the Akwacha because the person is transiting to the higher realm. And you don't transit to the higher realm in darkness. When you're doing marriage, we wear the Akwacha. We are praying that the young couple that are getting married, that they will have peaceful marriage.
Akwacha bahamore. Ifanye batakudo ahunne anyị na nna anyị.
The creative instinct of the kingdom's younger generation has resulted in it being produced in different colors and designs and names to further depict its uniqueness.
Even some people now, like this one, the one in front there, that one is the latest one. We call it Homa. Because the cost of this one is very high. We sell this one not less than 15,000 naira.
An average weaver earns as much as 40,000 naira weekly.
Instead, we will stay for nothing.
As far as people are still doing burial, marriage, it's a great concern business. People will go and other people will still come back.
It may interest you also to know the leaders in government have started working in this direction. Not too long ago, the state government entered into a partnership with the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO. They are suggesting that in a country in dire need of industrialization, it is highly logical to mechanize the making of the cloth for mass employment, as art and crafts are some of the easiest means of alleviating poverty in the rural areas, especially the empowerment of the girl child, other than the classroom.
Our culture is what makes us special. Thanks, Ona, for that feature. Moving on, praise is a significant aspect of the spiritual experience of Christians. So when the International Praise Church in Abuja celebrated its International Praise Day, it was a simple case of carrying out the tradition as it has been for years. Amina Nujaim reports that members of the church were euphoric and jubilant as they celebrated.
unlimited ways to express praise in colorful attires to represent the universality of praise in all languages.
English, he turned to his disciples and said, "O ye with little faith, worry, now you shake on looking persistent, shaking head, come provoke. Say, oh boy, una fall my hand."
Without a doubt, this is not your conventional Sunday service, but rather a praise service, one which Bishop Edwin Jeremiah, resident bishop of the International Praise Church Abuja, said was not a show or concert, but was aimed at praising God.
That is what God inhabits. That is what God is interested in our lives. Let us return to God with praise and with worship, for He is awesome in His works.
When we set out in genuine praise, it draws the presence of God towards us.
Then the scripture in Psalm 103 says, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not His benefits." So we praise Him because that's what we're created to do.
The what God appreciates most is when you sing praises unto Him, when you worship Him. And that is why we're expected as leaders to cast our crown before the throne of grace.
The International Praise Day of the International Praise Church was born from an annual event that started off as Africa Praise Day.
National Praise Day there, interesting piece. Sons, daughters and friends of Ijebuland converged on the land to herald the eating of the new yam. This they do annually through the traditional Agemu festival. Our correspondent in Ijebu, Yemi Dalemo, attended the festivity and packaged the thrills and frills for your viewing delight.
Agemo is one of the traditional festivals in Ijebuland believed to bring good fortunes, progress and development to the people of Ijebuland when worshipped and celebrated on the 7th month of the year. Oloja Agemo, 16 in numbers, usually converge on Ijebu-Ode, the headquarters of Ijebuland, from their various towns within Ijebuland and Ibonwo in Lagos State. Women are not allowed to watch the entrance and departure of the 16 Agemo, but are given the privilege of watching their performance, especially during the last day of the festival, where it is believed that anything requested from the gods are granted. The Ishasa Porogun group of the 16 Agemo is usually filled with sons and daughters of Ijebuland who come not only to participate in the festival but to also pray for the progress and development of their land. Speaking on the significance of the festival, some indigenes say the refusal to celebrate the festival, which dates back to the migration of Ijebu from the upper African region, will bring greater consequence upon the people of the land, home and abroad.
This is one thing that brings the entire community, the entire Ijebu land together.
Want the Ogun State art and culture to be more proactive in this festival.
The Agemo, one after the other, comes out into the public glare to dance, entertain the gathering, as well as offer prayers for the people. People in turn will pray and make their requests to the gods. Interestingly, the celebration is an avenue for traders to make money as they get increased patronage, while members of the Nigerian police were at hand to maintain law and order.
New Yam Festival remains a constant in most parts of Nigeria. Kudos to Ijebu sons and daughters for another successful Agemo festival. Gory stories we have saved for the last. You will wonder why any snuff life out of a fellow human being, but do so gruesomely. Let's take a break.
What do you get when you mix extracts of African herbs and fruits with alcohol? You get Origin Bitters, 100% natural African herbs and fruits. Origin Bitters, original taste, original bitters. Also available in ready to drink. A blend of herbs, fruits, and alcohol with no artificial sweeteners. If it's not Origin, it's not original.
Thanks for being there. The boy was a baby at only 4 years old. He was lured by a teenage neighbor into a bush, and that was the last he was seen alive. When his remains were found, the sight was gruesome. Why would anyone kill a child in such a horrible way? This happened in the Otuawori Ijaniki axis of Lagos State. Musa Toliat was at the scene of the crime to gather so much to tell you.
Uneasy calm pervaded the atmosphere at the residence of the parents of 4-year-old Jamiu Hassan, who was murdered in cold blood. Although we could not get an eyewitness account from occupants of the house, we traced our steps to the scene of the crime. Coincidentally, we met the divisional police officer of the Janikin police station, Robinson Eregari, at the scene of the crime. The exact spot can rightly be described as the evil forest. The spot where the little boy was gruesomely killed still bears traces of it. The divisional police officer of the Janikin police station told us that the assailant is a 16-year-old boy by name Tajuddin Aziz. Some people who at the time did not suspect anything foul saw him take the little boy into the forest. But when Tajuddin came out of the forest alone with blood all over him, members of the community became alarmed and curious. They informed the Janikin police of what they had seen. Tajuddin was subsequently arrested. We then proceeded to search for the victim's parents, who we found at the residence of a relative in Festac town. Their trauma cannot be quantified.
A mother want to deliver that time, so I can't tell a mother, say I'm coming, make her go find the money, because the money where the man is not complete. In reach house back for the place where go deliver the baby, so you can't come and say, meet Ibrahim for her side.
So they come tell me say I go see him. I know see until that break. So for morning, for 9 o'clock, they come carry and come. Say they come see and say they don't kill him.
When I enter inside station, so I enter finish, I go check her. I say na Ibrahim. They can't tell me say she na my picking. I tell them say na my picking. They can't tell me say make her could and say they don't hold the person who key the picking.
The traditional ruler in Oto Kingdom, where the crime took place, Oba Josiah Ilemobadi Aino, wants justice to prevail, but cautions that only those found culpable should be punished.
The police, they know the right thing. Instead of picking someone that's not at all knows anything about the issue, the way they are picking people now is a bit embarrassing the community. Everything is in the hand of the government. But I want them to treat the incident as supposed to be, without considering anybody for anything. They have to treat it whereby another person will not do the same thing, because we don't want that sort of thing in our area.
Having heard him, we proceeded to the Lagos State Police Command for an update from the police.
I can assure the people in that area that the police would not do such a thing. We go for people that we have proven evidence are connected with the incidents.
Newsline will follow this case to its conclusion and keep you updated.
Make all Nigeria people, may they help me pray for them, because if the police they do work like that, this country it go better. I don't get money, I don't get anything. I want make it government, may they help me, may they judge right for me, because may they don't let all those people who then keep my picking Ibrahim go, because if they leave them, they will do the thing we pass like that for this country.
If a 16-year-old person to have done that, there must be people that sponsored him. There must be the people that probably either cajoled him or push him to go and do that. And in most cases, they will be held as in that society, and they'll be hiding somewhere. So the police will go deeply into that, and will make sure that everybody that is one way or connected, either people that sponsor the boy and the boy himself, that they're brought to justice.
The evil we see sometimes knocks the wind out of you. This should never happen to anybody. Our prayer remains, deliver us from evil. Still on gory stories, this one took place in Oro, Akwa Ibom State. Tony Madu reports that just 2 weeks after the accused rented an apartment on Itu Road, he invited his friend named Daniel Bassi. What happened thereafter has left shockwaves running through the bodies of the people in that community. What exactly happened, Tony?
Ikotbon, the Etam community in Itu local government area of Akwa Ibom State, was thrown into confusion when the news filtered into the air that one resident of the community living in an uncompleted decked bungalow opposite 55 Itu Road murdered and dismembered a 20-year-old Daniel Bassi of Wemba community in Oran local government area of Akwa Ibom State. The suspect, Stephen Onana, who hails from Njikoka local government area of Anambra State, said he killed the deceased because he was indebted to him to the tune of 750,000 naira.
I'm angry with him to the extent of carrying machetes, kill him. I borrowed the money from bank.
Which of the bank?
Which is I gave him the money to run business. So after I demand the money and the shop length, to show me the shop length and other materials for the saloon, he refused.
The picture of the act is horrifying, while the gruesome murder was said to be heartless by some residents who mustered strength to speak on the incident.
We no live here up to 2 weeks. We no observe that attitude here. So as it happened like that, when I came in the morning, I just see the crowd of people from the area. So I just go back, ask people what is happening. So I was so sad about it.
So when the morning of that incident happened, I heard that somebody called me on the phone that, don't tell your son to come and open the shutter because they have killed somebody. I said, you didn't know. I don't know the person physically. I don't know the person who killed him. I noticed that they have captured that person.
The accused person, Stephen Onana, cut the victim into pieces.
Carry the laps and the hand, put it into his bag. When I throw it somewhere, carry the remaining part of the body into a Ghana must go. When I dump it in the gutter, carry the head in a dustbin, and when I dump it in the bush. And when I got this news that somebody was killed and thrown in the gutter, we went into action.
Investigation revealed that when the police arrested the suspect and took him to his room where the murder was committed, a pool of blood was seen alongside with one hand of the deceased, a cutlass, empty bottles of beer, and 2 empty bottles of spirit. This may point to the fact that the deceased may have been drugged. Investigation further revealed that before the suspect was arrested, he came to the street with a bullion van and 3 police escorts. The questions bugging the minds of residents are, who were the 3 policemen and what was the bullion van that brought the suspect home meant for?
There was no policeman arrested with him. I want to make it categorically very, very clear. There was no policeman arrested with him. Finally, he had some friends. When he came back from Onitsha, he went to those friends. And it was on the course of those friends that we even got him.
It's also said that the suspect owns landed property in his state of origin. Although police said the case has been charged to court, but investigation continues.
The murderer has to face the consequences of his actions. That was quite horrific. She was the former senior special assistant to the president on NEPAD. She was also the wife of the late administrator of the defunct East Central State. Following her demise, the remains of Dibweze Chinyere Asika have been laid to rest in her hometown, Onitsha, in Anambra State. Victor Azu reports.
Taking his sermon from the first book of Timothy, chapter 6, verse 7, the Bishop of the Anglican Diocese on the Niger, Right Reverend Owen Nwokolo, called on Christians to use their influence and affluence to meet the needs of the less privileged in the society. The service, which was graced by an array of dignitaries, including former head of state General Yakubu Gowon and Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano, was punctuated with special renditions by the choir. Her body was later interred at her late husband's country home in Onitsha. This was followed by the reception of guests, which include Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu. The reception became a carnival of sorts with the appearance of several masquerades. Family members and friends described her as a rare gem. The late Dibweze Chinyere Edith Asika, who was the pioneer senior special assistant to former President Obasanjo on NEPAD, was married to the administrator of the defunct East Central State, Ajie Ukpabi Asika.
She'll tell you off if you do something wrong, but she always draws people to her. You know, and we're very close as a family, especially after my father died, so it's a very difficult day for all of us.
She was the wisest person I knew. She was my confidant. She was my everything.
She ensured support for our people within and outside areas, liberated by forces in the theater of the world.
For the children, I will ask you to please list because you will have a good life. And I want you to invite our virtue of patience and charity.
She died on May 3rd, 2015.
Gentle soul find rest, amen. And that's Newsline tonight. As usual, I promise you exclusive stories you will find nowhere else but on Newsline. Just stay on the line till Sunday next week. Have a fruitful week. Thank you. Good night and God bless Nigeria.